out by introducing another esteemed actor. I'm going to start out by introducing another esteemed actor who's with us today, a former president of the Screen Actors Guild, Ed Asner. Say Today is about actors, not institutions. It's not about personalities, it's not about who said what to whom. Less than a month from our 75th anniversary, it's important to remember why we are still here 75 years after those brave actors started Screen Actors Guild. We're here to negotiate a contract that provides fair pay, good benefits, and safe working conditions, and then to enforce that contract. We're also here to adapt that contract from time to time as needed, as we did in the transitions from movies to TV, from network to cable, and from movies and TV to DVDs. We learned hard lessons during those transitions about what works and what doesn't work. Now we face a watershed in our history, the transition to the internet and other new media. More than ever, you need the protection of the best possible contract we can get. In all my years as a negotiator, I've learned two things that are always true. You don't get what you don't ask for, and if management says no to what you ask for, you don't get what you're unwilling to fight for. Yeah! What we have asked for isn't up to Alan or me. We've asked for proposals that were developed in wages and working conditions meetings held all over this country, day in and day out for weeks. Groups of hundreds of working actors from SAG and AFTRA came up with our proposals and our priorities in solidarity. In every negotiation, you ask for more than you get. But while your committee has made hard choices, we have held to the principles established by many here in those W&W meetings. One, fight for more money for working actors. Yeah. And a less than cost of living increase in minimums is not enough. Yeah. Improve our pension and health benefits contributions significantly. Yeah. Make sure we have jurisdiction in all new media productions and that all original content in new media pays residuals. Protect actors from product integration abuses. Improve DVD residuals by the 15% that Alan talked about by making the producers pay for pension and health above the cast residual pool. And protect your right to be paid if your producer holds your contract during a force majeure event like the WGA strike, which happened to 80 casts represented by the Screen Actors Guild. These are some of the things we're fighting for and why these negotiations are not finished. We are not done yet. We are not done yet. Well, let me ask you, are we done yet? No! Are we done yet? No! I agree. I don't think we're done yet either. We've been asked often, how does the AFTRA deal affect our negotiations? The answer is plenty. If it's ratified by a satisfied membership that includes more than 40,000 SAG members, that will send an unmistakable signal to the AMPTP. If you think the new AFTRA deal is enough, and you think we've gone far enough, then you should vote yes. But if you don't, if you think we aren't finished, you need to send that message to the AMPTP, to AFTRA, and to your SAG negotiating committee by voting no. My job is to make sure actors have the facts. One is the competition between unions is bad for actors, not good. Unequal contracts encourage producers to pit one union against the other at the expense of the members of both. At your expense when they search out the cheapest contract. And don't let anybody tell you that a no vote means a strike. It simply sends AFTRA back to the table where we can maximize our leverage together, which is where we should be. I believe in dealing with the facts, and AFTRA's published highlights of their deals show they haven't finished the job we're trying so hard to finish. Their increases in minimums barely account for inflation and don't affect schedule and money breaks enough. Their improvements in background are minimal. I'm sorry, but raising the count by 1 in LA shouldn't be enough for the background community. No! AFTRA's highlights describe confirming union coverage on internet programs. That's strange language to use when their agreement gives producers the right to produce internet programs entirely non-union. And residual free when they are produced union. They claim credit for new residual structures for paid downloads and streaming when AFTRA simply adopted the DGA formula without change. That's right. Yes, they held the line on actor consent for clips of old TV and movie programs, but that's not enough. There is no way this is a groundbreaking agreement. It's the opposite of that. It is business as usual. And I ask you as AFTRA and SAG members, are we done yet? Yeah! Finally, I want to spend a minute on the studios and networks who talk often about the need to partner with creative talent and the uncertainty of new media business models. If, as they say, the AFTRA New Media deal is an experiment, why not experiment in ways that protect actors? We have low-budget internet agreements for more than 500 independent productions. We've been covering low-budget features with SAG agreements for more than 10 years. Why not use our real-world experience as the model? Union coverage, pension and health contributions, residuals, safe conditions are all achievable in the new media low-budget marketplace. How do we know that? Because we have done it. We hear the industry describe the business challenges, and we're prepared to roll up our sleeves to come up with solutions that work for actors and studios and networks. But when CBS buys internet network CNET for $1.8 billion, and Fox and Disney project annual internet revenue of $1 billion each, and NBC reports record upfront ad sales at $1.8 billion, we don't understand when we hear that why our priorities are too complicated or too expensive. I want to read you something that came last week at a Merrill Lynch conference from CBS's Executive Vice President and CFO, Frederick Reynolds. This is CBS talking. In the past and currently, we make money on the original airing on the network and the rerun. We make money. So every other window of opportunity to earn revenue has an exceedingly high margin. We make a nice profit on the original and the rerun. Everything else has a very, very high margin. But not only that, we have a vast library of content that dates back to the 50s. I Love Lucy in 1957 still earns us probably $25 to $30 million a year in profit and a 95% margin. It's downloaded, it's DVD'd, it's streamed, and it still owes us an incredible amount of money. That's 51 years later. And you're exactly right. There aren't any residuals paid on that. And that's the model they want us to use in media. Employers talk like that to Wall Street, they can't turn around and tell us they can't afford to increase your mileage reimbursement for the first time in 30 years. So we need your voice to be raised, to be heard at the AMPTP in Sherman Oaks, and on the 9th floor of 5757 Wilshire. That's where AFTRA's offices are. We need the industry to hear your voice and know that actors are united, that your priorities must be acknowledged, and that your needs in this crisis will be met. If we stick together, we will weather this storm and achieve what you deserve. A fair contract for actors. A fair contract for actors.